يغتسل يذهب مباشرة إلى المسجد، لا يفصل بين الغسل والرواح إلى المسجد بشيء. ندب تهجير. مندوب التهجير، ما هو التهجير؟ هو المشي بعد الزوال. فالمالكية عندهم التبكير ليس بمطلوب، بل مطلوب عند الشافعية، لكن الإمام مالك يرى أنه المندوب هو التهجير، يعني المشي بالهاجرة، يعني المشي بعد الزوال إلى المسجد، وحال جملة. يندب كذلك يندب لمن أراد أن يذهب إلى المسجد أن يتجمل، معناه يلبس الثوب الأبيض ويتجمل، يعني يعمل خصال الفطرة، نتف الإبط وحلق العانة وقص الشارب وقص الأظافر، وحال جملة. نعم. بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Here, the discussion is about the Sunan of Jum'ah. And the first thing that is mentioned from amongst the Sunan is the ghusl, that is the shower, so to speak, that should be taken for Salatul Jum'ah. So if we were to translate it, we would say the shower, or the shower taken for or before Salatul Jum'ah, which will be explained. So it is a sunnah. Yet to say to take the shower before Jum'ah is considered a sunnah. There is a hadith where the apparent meaning is that it is an obligation for every mature person that they should take a ghusl or shower before Jum'ah. The apparent meaning of this hadith is that wajib, yani that it is an obligation. However, there's another hadith where Rasulullah ﷺ is reported to have said that whoever makes wudu, that is before Jummah, then how excellent is that? However, whoever would take a shower or a ghusl, then that is even better. Afdal. So the word afdal, meaning that it is better or even better to take a ghusl before Jummah, would indicate that it is mandub, or that it is something that is preferred or preferable. So in order to make if you will, make both of these hadith, to put them both into practice and give them if you will, how do you take away the apparent contradiction, is to say that it is a sunnah, it is emphasized. So neither hadith indicates literally that one is obligatory, that it is obligatory, or that it is simply preferred, but rather it is a sunnah. Now, yes, if there are certain reasons, asbab or sabab, there is a reason that could become incumbent on a person. For instance, if there is a very bad smell coming from that person, if they just happen to have very bad body odor at that time, and there's a uncomfortable and very bad smell that comes from them, then it would be considered, for instance, obligatory to take the ghusl before going to Jummah. So at any case, in any rate, though, it still remains as a sunnah. And if at times there may be a reason to cause it to become obligatory, that's different, but it stays as a sunnah in the Malikiyya, according to the Malikis. So now the next part of it, bir-rawah, means that it is the sunnah to take the ghusl before leaving to the masjid. Okay, zawal time before going to the masjid, meaning zawal, which is the middle of the day, where after that part, the zenith, as they call it in English, after the zenith, the sun rises in the middle of the sky, so to speak. At the zenith, when the sun starts declining, that's when Dhuhr starts. So when the sun reaches its zenith, and right before you're about to go to the masjid, mubashara, yani when you are about to go towards the masjid for Jummah, then it is good to start your ghusl at that point. Yani the ghusl should be done before leaving to go to the masjid. And it is considered also to be mandub. Yani it is preferable to go to the masjid a little later, so to speak, meaning after Zawal, because this is the opposite of the opinion of Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, who considered it good to start going towards Jummah earlier in the morning, or let's say before Zawal, if you will, before the zenith. But Yani in the Malikiyah, with the Malikis, it is better to do it after Zawal. That is to say, with Imam Malik, rahimahullah ta'ala, it is better to start going towards the masjid, towards the Jummah Sarah, after Zawal, after the zenith has, Yani, when the sun has reached the middle. Again, the zenith, the Zawal is the starting point of, after that, the sun starts setting, so to speak, and that's when you have Dhuhr. This zenith, Yani, that's the time when a person should begin their walking towards or going towards the masjid. And the next is to also do tajammul, meaning to beautify oneself, is also considered التجمل مندوب يا سيدي.
نعم مندوب تجمل.
مندوب.
ولباس الثوب الأبيض وقص حلق العانة وقص الشارب ونتف الإبط ما إلى ذلك.
So to do certain things, which is called tajammul, which means to beautify yourself. And here what is meant, yani, it's mandub, and it's preferred to beautify yourself also before going to Jummah. As an example, what is called beautification of the tajammul is to wear white clothing, for instance, and also to remove the hairs of the armpit and of the areas that, other areas that, like your private parts, that you should remove the unwanted hair, so to speak. And then also to trim your nails, right? Which includes your toenails. And then also to trim your mustache. So those things are considered tajammul. This is beautification. And to do those things before Jummah also is considered mandub. It is considered preferred.
بسم الله. بجمعة جماعة قد وجبت سنة بفرض وبركعة رست. بجمعة جماعة يريد أن يقول أن الجماعة واجبة بالنسبة للجمعة. الجمعة لا تصح بدون جماعة، ولا بد أن يكون عدد الجماعة 12 شخصا فأكثر. بجمعة جماعة قد وجبت. إذن الاجتماع للجمعة هذا واجب. فالجمعة لا بد لها من عدد معين، وهذا العدد أقله 12 شخصا. بجمعة جماعة قد وجبت سنة بفرض. أما الصلوات الخمس فالاجتماع للصلوات الخمس كالظهر والعصر والمغرب والعشاء والصبح، هذا الاجتماع سنة بفرض وبركعة رست. يعني أن فضل الجماعة يدرك بركعة كاملة. فضل الجماعة يدرك بركعة كاملة. فضل الجماعة هو المراد به الفضل الوارد في الحديث. وارد في الحديث أن صلاة الجماعة تعدل صلاة الفذ ب27 درجة. صلاة الجماعة تعدل صلاة الفذ ب27 درجة. هذا الفضل يحصل بركعة مع الإمام، ركعة واحدة مع الإمام، سنة بفرض وبركعة رست. نعم.
And here it is said that one of the things that are obligatory in terms of Jummah is that it must be prayed in a congregation. So it must be a group large enough that have prayed Jummah for the Jummah to be, in other words, this is an obligatory aspect of Jummah, that it must be prayed in congregation. And also this congregation, this Jama'ah, must be a specific number. So the number given, yani, the least amount of people that must be there are 12. يا سيدي هذا 12 رجلا أو شخصا.
12 رجلا مكلفا، 12 رجلا بالغا، دون نساء دون صبيان. نعم.
جزاكم الله خير. So it has to be 12 grown men, meaning mukallaf and baligh, akil, all the things that makes a person a legally responsible adult. That is to say, they are male and they have reached puberty and they are in their full mind. They are fully, they have not in full mind. Let's put it that way. So it's not including children and women. So these are 12 grown, legally mukallaf, according to Sharia, legally responsible men. So that's important. So the 12 people, meaning 12 men, are the least amount. That is the least requirement, or least amount of, or to be the requirement of the least amount is 12 grown men that they have prayed in congregation Salat al-Jum'ah. That is necessary, is wajib, it is obligatory. For all the other prayers, whether it is Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and Subh, Fajr, then those prayers, congregational salah is considered a sunnah. It is an emphasis, it's a sunnah. And that is because of the excuse me, the emphasis is because of the great virtue of praying in congregation, which is that a congregational salah is 27 times more virtuous than a prayer or a salah made alone. And the virtue of this, the virtue of praying in Jama'ah is, it can be attained by when you pray any of these salah in Jama'ah, like the Fard salah in Jama'ah, it is attained by even 1 rak'ah, meaning even if someone joins that person and makes a congregation, just even for 1 rak'ah, then the virtue of the congregational prayer is attained.
وندبت إعادة الفذ بها لا مغربا كذا عشا موترها. وندبت إعادة الفذ بها. ندبت إعادة الفذ، يندب وندبت إعادة الفذ بها لا مغربا كذا عشا موترها. أن من صلى فذا، من صلى إحدى الصلوات الخمس صلاها فذا منفردا ووجد جماعة يندب له أن يعيد معها لتحصيل فضل الجماعة. من صلى إحدى الصلوات الخمس وهو فذا وهو منفرد، صلى وحده ووجد جماعة يندب له أن يعيد معها لتحصيل فضل الجماعة. وندبت إعادة الفذ بها لا مغربا إلا المغرب. يستثنى من هذا المغرب، صلاة المغرب. من صلى المغرب فذا ثم وجد جماعة فإنه لا يعيد معها لتحصيل فضل الجماعة، لا يعيد المغرب، لا تعاد لفضل الجماعة. وكذلك عشا موترها، كذلك من صلى العشاء فذا وأوتر، صلى الوتر ووجد